Well, as you can see, it's a really sandy car. I washed it about 5 weeks ago for the last time. Only drove a few 100 kilometers with the car and was standing for most of the time. You have a bit of these bird feces, which annoys me the most, because when I wash the car, almost every time the same day there are the first bird feces again. As you can see how sandy it is. Thought the 1 Series would deserve it to have its car washed even when I'm not using it. And it just annoys me having a car which looks this dirty. So even when not using it, I already can find some good feelings in having a really nice clean car. So yeah, this dirty one will be washed right now. Well, it has been 34 days since I last moved the 1 Series. Due to the Corona crisis, I had to work from home and wasn't able to travel during this period, at least not for the business related purposes. I drove the 320i mostly and the Volvo V40 of my partner. And as you can see, it's all sorts of dust is in the car. It's quite warm also here. And you can see that there's a lot of sand which befell onto the car. But let's see if 34 days without any moving or starting the car did affect the vehicle. I really have to get used to the feeling of sitting in the sport seats again. Let's go. Well, it starts up without any problems. But I didn't expect 3-year-old cars to have any problems starting, especially when it's warm. It's about 15 degrees. Outside it's quite nice weather, but inside it's really hot inside of the car. Well, and due to the Corona crisis, there's really nothing I can talk about, at least car related. So it has come to it that I'm going to show or make a short vlog about me taking this really dirty car to the car wash.
Professionele aanpak ook een succes kan worden. Maar ook hoe conjunctureel en context bepaalt het is wat we doen. Dus dat is misschien ook wel een mooi opmaat.
That's really sandy. One thing I didn't expect was that the tires would have been in this condition. Of course, just the day before the announcement of all these measures for the coronavirus, I serviced 1 Series. I also did a vlog on the servicing. I'll put a link to this vlog down below, and you can click, well, probably somewhere in the screen now. But one thing which I didn't expect was that that after so long of so many weeks, the tires wouldn't have these flat edges. What I noticed on my 3 Series, although I have to admit this car now has summer tires, which are a bit more or are a bit harder compared to the softer winter tires. So when they're softer, they of course their shape is altering a bit faster, so you have these flat edges. On my 3 Series, for the first few kilometers, always when I didn't use it for 1 or 2 weeks, you can feel the steering wheel shaking a bit. After a few kilometers, then the tires are back to their old form, a bit more round, so you don't notice this trembling in the steering wheel anymore. I suspected the 1 Series also to have these flat edges on the tires after standing for almost 5 weeks, but I can feel it very distantly, almost nothing, so that wasn't what I expected to happen. Well, as you might have noticed, I didn't put my dash cam onto the windscreen. After 2 weeks in the sun, the suction cup or the suction part of the dash cam actually came off, so I removed it. Or what does it say removed it? I still got the cord here. And the only thing I'd have to do is to reattach the whole dash cam, which I have here, onto the windscreen, which I will when I'm going to use the car more, or again, but for now I didn't thought I'd use the dash cam. And please let me know what you think about if you're having to park your car for a few weeks or months. What's the best thing to do? Do you think like old cars versus modern cars? Do you think you have to drive every week for a bit, or do you have to can you just like park it for 3 months and then just drive it again? Please share me your thoughts about this subject. What you would do. I parked my 320i E90 last year for about 5 months, didn't move it, and after these 5 months I just got onto the car and drove it again and didn't do any specific precautions, but it still worked excellently. There was no problem. The car just started right away, and only the flat or the tires were a bit had these flat spots. Otherwise the 320i just worked perfectly. And the Dutch roadside assistance advises everyone to at least drive your car for 30 minutes every week. So again, please share me your thoughts on the subject of parking your car over longer times, and maybe you have some experiences due to the corona crisis in your country, not having moved your car, now starting it up again. But maybe your experience is also such an uneventful experience as starting up my 116d as shown in this vlog. And if you're wondering why are all the cars moving on the right hand side, which you might be able to see in the video, they have a subscription to the car wash, so they can for a fixed price come here as often as they'd like. And why didn't I get such a subscription? The subscription is only valid on one license plate, obviously, otherwise these kind of cards would have been handed around in one street or whatever, resulting in a loss for the car wash. So, and as I'm having 3 cars, for me there isn't that much use of making getting a subscription, because I would only be able to use it for one car. And again, please share me your thoughts on what kind of car washes or hand wash or things you do for your car. Do you just go to a car wash? Do you hand wash it? Do you have a subscription somewhere? Or are there different forms of ways to pay for your car wash in what you use? Washing the car. I'm not going to the vacuum cleaners. Why not? Well, the car was standing for 5 weeks, so I was just thinking about when was the last time I cleaned the car. Well, it was actually the BMW dealership who cleaned the car for the last time. So it was servicing on the 12th of March or somewhere around that date. And when the BMW dealership did its service, they also cleaned the car. And I only drove it for 200 kilometers afterwards, 2 days, and then I parked it, so the inside is still very clean. No need to vacuum the car or whatsoever. It's only when standing outside it gets that dirty. And now you might wondering you won't know if the corona measures will have been put out of effect and we're starting to work again at offices in the near future. But even when I'm driving the car, if it's clean and standing in the driveway, I still enjoy a clean car a lot. And the other way around, I was actually very annoyed by the dirtiness of this car when just passing it every day. So we're back again where we left off. We've been through the car wash, and the 1 Series definitely looks a lot better than before. However, I see quite a few stone chips here on the hood. Here. Yeah, there are quite a few. You can also see that the windscreen looks like it's been sandblasted. I think the previous owner drove it a lot on the highway. It looks like typical highway damage. Then we have here a bit of the bird feces which didn't come off very well. Same here in the window. So it's not a perfect car wash. There are many small points which I have to adjust, like this one here also. But at least all the sand is gone now. Let's remove this here. They put it on the windscreen wiper to protect the windscreen wiper from all the brushes in the car wash, as a brush might get stuck behind the windscreen wiper and then just rip it off. And as being a good citizen, just put it in the garbage bin here. So yeah, so it's an okay result. I'm happy with the result, although it's not perfect. Maybe for on a later moment I'll just make it a thorough clean. And as I said, from the inside it still looks very clean, as it hasn't been used for the past few weeks. Well, that's Freddy the penguin. He's been stuck here for all those weeks. Yeah, well, that's wraps up my blog about doing the car wash. As I said, I hope that in due time we'll have more interesting topics to make vlogs or videos about.